There's something about being underestimated that stirs the soul. Maybe you've felt it. The sting of people ignoring your efforts, mocking your dreams, laughing behind your back, and doubting your ability to rise. But what if I told you that every eye that looked down on you will one day look up, in awe? Because when man underestimates you, God is just getting started. This is the story of Io, the forgotten boy who was laughed at, left behind, and labeled a nobody, until the day heaven moved and everything changed. Io was born in the quiet outskirts of a rural village, where time moved slowly and dreams faded fast. He wasn't the strongest. He wasn't the smartest. He wasn't the one anyone noticed. His family? Poor. His father? Gone. His mother? A prayer warrior who taught him one thing: they may laugh at you now, my son, but when God lifts you, they will all see it. The other kids in the village mocked Io. His clothes were torn, his sandals broken. Teachers barely remembered his name. At age 10, he asked a simple question in class and was met with laughter. Io thinks he'll be someone one day. But even then, something burned in his eyes, a quiet fire. While the world dismissed him, Io started planting seeds no one could see. He would sneak into the village library, read by candlelight, and whisper prayers before sleep. He started fixing things around town. A broken cart here, a rusted door there. People laughed, but he kept showing up, helping, learning, praying. They called him the errand boy, not knowing he was gaining wisdom. They called him village dust, not knowing he was rooted deep. "You're wasting your time," they told him. But every time they underestimated him, it was as if heaven whispered, "Hold on, I'm not done." Years passed. At 18, Io applied for a government apprenticeship. He wore his best shirt, prepared a powerful pitch, and showed up with hope. But when the panel saw his name, they scoffed. "You're not from the right family," one said. "Come back when the stars align." He walked home, heart shattered. But that night, under the stars, his mother prayed again. "Lord, let every rejection become a redirection. Elevate my son in the sight of those who despise him." What Io didn't know was that his name, his humility, had caught the attention of one silent observer, Mr. Obinna, a wealthy contractor sitting quietly at the back of that panel. Obinna had built his empire from nothing. He knew the look of determination masked by poverty. After the meeting, he asked, "That boy, Io, who is he?" The other men laughed. "Just a village helper. Not worth your time." But Obinna thought differently. A week later, Io was repairing a market stall when a black SUV pulled up beside him. "Are you Io?" the man asked. "Yes, sir," Io replied, puzzled. Obinna stepped out, extended his hand, and said, "I have a project. I need someone who's not afraid of dirt, who works hard when no one's watching. Come." For the next 5 years, Io became Obinna's apprentice. Not a fancy intern, a worker. He cleaned, lifted, observed, and listened. Others in the company mocked him. "You'll never make it past janitor," they said. But Io remembered his mother's voice. "Let them underestimate you, my son. God is writing something greater." He learned contracts, blueprints, leadership. He stayed up late taking online courses, managing small projects no one wanted. Slowly, Obinna gave him more responsibility. Then one day, Obinna handed him keys. "You're ready, Io. I'm giving you your first company to run, in your name." News spread fast. Obinna gives company to unknown village boy. The village that once mocked him now buzzed with curiosity. Some praised, others whispered, he must have bribed his way up. But Io stayed silent. He let his work speak. He returned to the village, donated to schools, rebuilt homes, and employed dozens, including the same teachers who had ignored him. And then it happened. That same government office that had rejected him years ago was now failing. Corruption, mismanagement. They needed help. They needed someone honest, sharp, and proven. They needed Io. He walked into the office, dressed in grace, not pride. The same panel, older, tired, desperate, looked up as he entered. Gasps, stammering. One whispered, "That's the boy we laughed at." Io smiled gently, greeted them, and presented his solution to their crisis. He didn't remind them of the past. He didn't throw shade. He just let his excellence speak. And when the contract was signed, they stood and clapped, not because he demanded it, but because God had lifted him in front of the same people who had pushed him down. At a youth conference, Io was invited to speak. Everyone expected a motivational speech about hard work. But instead, he said this: "They laughed at me. They counted me out. But I wasn't waiting on them. I was waiting on God." The secret isn't in being seen. It's in being faithful when you're unseen. Don't chase applause. Chase assignment. Because when the time is right, God will place you in the seat of honor in the presence of those who doubted you. Psalm 23 verse 5 echoed in his heart. "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." Io had lived it. The doubters weren't destroyed. They were witnesses. Because God doesn't need to bring people down to lift you up. He just needs you to stay planted, stay faithful, and stay ready. Let them talk. Let them mock. Let them doubt. Heaven is not shaken by human opinions. And when God decides to elevate you, no man, no system, no whisper, no past can stop him. You might be in your Io season right now, underestimated, ignored, laughed at, dismissed. But don't lose heart. Your value isn't determined by their view. Keep planting, keep praying, keep preparing. Because one day, the same people who looked down on you will have no choice but to look up. Not because of your revenge, but because of God's redemption. This is not just Io's story. This is your story in the making. And when it's your turn, may you walk with humility, rise with grace, and shine with the glory of the God who lifts the lowly and humbles the proud. Let them underestimate you. God will elevate you right in front of them.